everybody, my name is Tamer and welcome to the Home Fragrance Academy. Today I'm here to talk to you a little bit about CLP, but don't worry, it's not going to be one of those really long drawn out videos where you've got loads of legal jargon being thrown at you. Lots of you will have probably already started your candles and wax melt business. If you are based in the UK or the EU, then this video is for you. So CLP stands for Classification, Labelling and Packaging. And that is a regulation that's set in place to ensure that any products that contain any amount of fragrance oil whatsoever are labelled correctly. Now, I'm not going to go into the really long-winded talk about you have to make sure you have CLP because you already know that. Instead, I'm going to talk about some of the things you might have read online. So, for instance, when I first started Cozy Aromas back in the day, which would have been 6 years ago now, or just over 6 years, in the research phase, I jumped straight onto trusty Google, having a click around and a search for how do I sell wax melts legally? And then I joined some Facebook groups. Now, they can be really useful. You can make really great connections, get lots of advice from seasoned wax melt and candle brands, and you can also just make some really lovely friendships as well, people that will support you on your journey. However, you can also find some really unhelpful advice. So when it comes to Facebook groups, if you speak with a little bit of authority, some people who are very new to the wax melt and candle game will just believe what's been written, and then somebody else will copy the same thing and it just goes round and round and round like Chinese whispers. However, it is important that you are able to spot what is real and what is not. So I've got 3 things to chat about really quickly to cover about what things you may see available online, and so you can spot what is real and what is not. So one of the most commonly asked questions in Facebook groups surrounding CLP is my CLP correct? And then the poster will share a photo of their CLP label that they have received. Now, it's important to know that you are the one, as the business owner, who is in charge of ensuring that the labelling is correct. So you have to ensure that you are able to read an SDS sheet to be able to understand what the CLP label says and that it's got everything it needs. But when somebody writes up there, is my CLP label correct, with a picture of their CLP, you're not able to tell if that's correct from a picture because there is multiple things you need to have in place. You need to have the SDS sheet available. You need to know what product it is for, because if you're making a wax melt that's under 125 millilitres, there are some things that you can take off the labelling. If you're making a reed diffuser, for instance, that's going to be a whole different CLP. If you are making a CLP with 25% fragrance oil, or if you're making it at 10% fragrance oil, it is going to be a completely different CLP every time. And without all of the information available, you are not able to tell this person if the CLP is correct or not. But as I said earlier, ultimately it comes down to you to be able to understand the SDS sheet. So number 2, does my CLP label really need a phone number on it? Okay, I know what you're thinking. You don't want to put your personal number on a CLP label that could be shipped out to anybody all over the UK, EU, or even further afield as well. However, you really do require a phone number. But I've got a tip for you. Go online, apply for a free SIM card, and I'm sure you're like me, you keep hold of an old phone just in case, and you've got yourself a work phone. It didn't cost you anything because you don't have to put any credit on the SIM card. It is a working SIM card, and then you have your phone number. But it is important to ensure that your business details are correct on your CLP label. So it has to have your business name, your business address, and your telephone number. So these are things that are very important to ensure full traceability. So if a person has a problem with your wax melt, becomes ill or anything like that, then the emergency services or that person can give you a call, request the SDS sheet, and then you will be able to send it directly over to them. Number 3, if you get your CLP labels printed externally, it is not a get out of jail free card. You still have to ensure you understand the labels you receive are correct. You still have to be able to read the SDS sheet, marry it up to your CLP label and be confident that what you are putting on your product is correct. So another comment I see in groups or always around certain companies, oh, company XXX printed my labels wrong, and is this label correct? It come from XXX. And at the end of the day, regardless of the fact that you don't print them yourself, you still have to have the understanding if the labels you have received are correct or not. But the takeaway from this is to ensure that you are the one that understands the SDS sheet, so you are able to make sure your CLP labels are correct. Now, if you found this video useful, don't forget to save it for later. Give us a like, a subscribe, and a follow, of course. And if you have any questions about this or anything else you would like to know surrounding CLP, leave it in the comments below and I will get back to you. Don't forget to have a look at our website and join the Home Fragrance Academy for more tips, advice, support, and active coaching as well. I'll speak to you soon.